Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Ep40 as German Empire. In previous episode well, the wars still with most of Europe continues. We did manage to get some nice victories against the enemy fleet in North Sea, which is quite handy. They've got a load of ships in the English Channel in the meanwhile right now, but that's beside the point. We tried to do a bit of attacks. There's still actually the battle technically speaking going on in here. But yeah, we tried to do a bit of attacks. Those weren't too successful, but the Western Front, we're still holding our ground at least. And the enemy is taking heavy casualties. On the Eastern Front, we actually have now finally got on the advantage in numbers. At least briefly. That's probably not going to be a long-term advantage, but... Oh, there we go. 103 versus 96. Okay, that's not too bad. Got a bit of plunder on our side of the battle in Silesia, but I think we're still going to win that. In Lorraine, we've got another battle, which is, oh boy, that's quite crucial victory. Well, quite crushing defeat for the enemy, rather. And we've got a battle in, right, that's the battle in Open. And we have been defeating, as I said, some of the fleets over there. Oh, that's another battle against the British fleet. What's the front line? Oh, West Indies, right. So they're still going through the various colonies and all that. The Baltic regions are having a bit of a revolution over there. If I could, I would help them, but I don't think I'm really in a position to do that right now. There we go. So, Lotharingen, we've got another nice battle in here. We actually had the numbers advantage, and oh boy, that's... I'm actually curious, how much more will they take damage, especially with the plunder going on? It's going to be huge, like 10 to 1 at this point. But we do have a very high defense with these generals, but still, that is rather impressive. It is also a bit expensive. We've still got 68 million casualties though, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, no, it is definitely 10 to 1 casualties right now at the combat. Now they're retreating as well, so they're not really dealing damage. So for about 3,000 casualties on our side, we did 38,000 at least. Yeah, about 38,000 by the looks of it. Not bad. 38,000, oh yeah, so they had a bit of demoralized, but it was a whole lot of just raw casualties on their side. We've got another, right, there's the battle Open. Got another battle in Brandenburg, which seems to be another glorious victory. So at least we are holding our ground. There's another naval combat, which is against Occitania. They're going to be taking a bit of casualties in there. We have lost quite a bit of, ramming maneuver. Right, the casualties taken is increased, but I suppose we're also dealing a bit more damage. Oh yeah, kill rate is massive there. We've still got a decent bit of loyalists, although the loyalist numbers are dropping and the radicals are increasing. As the population, well, I suppose it's still kind of increasing, although a lot less right now due to the war. Standard of living has definitely suffered a bit because of that. It was at almost 19 at the start of the war, so it's been going down by about 4 points. And the GDP is still, we're still the number 1 in GDP, but it has suffered quite a bit. There's another naval combat, 2 naval combats actually. So we're still holding our ground in here. There's some, there's some armies coming in. Not very good armies, mind you, but armies nonetheless. From our colony. Well, there we go. We had double combat in Brandenburg. We're winning both of them. So we have gotten the manpower to be roughly equal in there. I do actually wonder at this point, if we were to take the, which one of these would be a offensive planner? Okay, Usselman is one option. Ludendorff is also expert. You know what? We're going to start advancing the front a little bit. If nothing else, we're going to at least start pushing back the enemy. Well, you know, putting some pressure on them as well. So they can't always just, you know, regain the strength at peace over here until the armies are ready to attack and then attack. Oh, we got a lot of combat in here. Okay, that's going to be a loss, but that's not our fleet. Occitania is losing and Prussia is probably losing this battle. There we go. They essentially bomb buildings. I'm going to keep the English troops happy. It does reduce the progress of the secession at least a little bit. So that's at least good. And oh my goodness, that is a huge casualty. So the enemy over here in Brandenburg. We are starting to have a bit of a numbers advantage indeed over here. How's the Western Front looking like in terms of troops? We could probably go ahead and take one of the armies. Maybe the 10th army will move to the Eastern Front. Okay, that's not really going to work. Too many armies in the tooltip when I'm trying to move in there, so it just refuses to take that order. Unless we do it like in a split second before the tooltip appears. Niger wants military assistance. You know what? Sure, you can have that. That's going to keep them slightly happier. Ignore these notifications, actually. Probably should have done that ages ago. At least those... I know that we won't have market access on a lot of those areas right now. We're working on it. We're working on wrestling the naval control over here. Oh, we got attack over here. It's not necessarily going quite as planned, but the enemy is taking casualties still. They are exhausted. The Mart is not really helping us right now. Minus 20% offense is pretty bad. Oh, there we go. Oh, German Niger is in default. Well, that's not good. Automated bottle blows unlocked. Right, so I suppose that's something that we can probably do. It's going to free up potentially quite a bit of workforce. 2,500 per class works. That's going to be a lot of soldiers, or potential soldiers then. Or just workers in other buildings. There we go. Another battle in Brandenburg is a victory, and the battle down here in Austria is not really going according to plan, but at least we're keeping the enemy in check, in a way. They won't be able to just sit back and enjoy. Well, I wouldn't really say that they're enjoying the situation too much, but still. Okay, Britain's war support is now 17. Capitulation desires... Actually, how much... Oh, they're losing 2.26 per week, so that's still probably about 20 weeks before they are willing to peace out from the war. And after that, we can then start advancing, not necessarily full speed, but a lot more. Because, actually, how much... there's a little bit of troops from Prussia over there. And they got another 90... Okay, so they've got about 100 battalions over here on the Eastern Front alone. I'm guessing they probably have a decent bit on the Western Front. Let's see, that's 46, 66, 76... Plus their colonies. So yeah, it's probably about 100 battalions on the Western Front as well. The fleet, of course, is the primary thing. Once we get rid of the enemy British fleet over here, that is going to be the biggest change to the war, because then we can actually start regaining some of the convoys, perhaps, and start sinking enemy convoys, so that they will start taking hits to their economy as well in larger quantities. Resource boom in Silesia. I'm going to increase the standard of living there right now, because the standard of living probably isn't that great. I mean, okay, 15.6. Oh, Russia damaging relations. Well, lovely. Yeah, they're attacking the Austria. That's not going to go all that well. We're losing 500,000 per... Actually, yeah, we're losing quite a bit of money right now. The private sector, or the investment pool still has a little bit, but they are probably spending a lot of money buying the various buildings from us. Attack into Belgium is not really going according to plan. We do have the numbers advantage now on the Western Front. That is actually interesting. Perhaps it would be time to switch back the attacks here then. Let's see, so it was Hindenburg. We're going to start advancing front, and Moltke is going to start advancing front. The other's going to still stay on defense. How's the secession? That's going to be going up to 90%. On the Eastern Front, we're still just mostly holding our ground. They will eventually fall. But yeah, that's the failed attack. I mean, the enemy still took more casualties than we did. So it's not all bad. We have lost a little bit of Silesia, but it's only 12% now. We can probably retake that in a battle or two. The battle in Belgium is not going all according to plan. Again, if we could, I don't know, get one of the western, or the nations to the western side here, which actually I suppose does include Savoy, now that I think of it. But yeah, little by little, if we can just wrestle control in the Western Front, because the enemy is having a fairly significant lack of troops comparatively. Yeah, we got advantage of over 30,000 now. I suppose that may have been partially because we got a lot of new soldiers through the automation for the class works. When you have a hammer, how far? Okay, it can go up to 92. We need that general. Oh, it did actually work out. Oh, and request to increase autonomy. You know what? Sure. Right now, we don't really have the choice. They're taking most of the costs right now of this war. Well, pretty much the entire colony is being occupied, which is not easy for us. Ooh, okay, that's another combat over here that we're losing. Or another attack over there that we're losing. But that's not... No, it is actually our attack. Alright then, well, I suppose, yeah, I did order that, didn't I? Okay, at this point, though, the enemy is having numbers advantage again by quite a bit. I'm going to stop their attacks. Just continue defending in the east, and the west we can probably get some gains. Also, how long until Britain? The war support is now 2. They're losing 2.6 per week. So, honestly, probably 12 weeks from now is when they'll probably surrender. So I'm gonna guess it's... I suppose it's gonna be like April, late April or May. Of course, the speed might increase a bit further as well, since we're defeating them on the... or their fleet right here in the North Sea. So that's definitely gonna have some impact. Ooh, that's a massive combat. This attack, the enemy's got more troops in there, manpower-wise. So we're probably going to lose that one. And the difference is quite sharp in there. But at least in Brandenburg, we're still holding. We managed to take Silesia almost fully back. Almost. They do have 30,000 men more in the Eastern Front. And the Western Front, they've managed to get to small advantage there again. So I might go ahead and just switch back to the adamant defense on these 2 generals. Actually, no, that's defense front on there. But yeah, just we're gonna wait until Britain is out of the war. I think that's not gonna take too long. And then after that, we'll have a lot better situation. Especially since we can start raiding the French convoys over here. We can then start hurting their economy a lot. And they will then perhaps be willing to take a peace deal. Although, probably not immediately. But yeah, the attack over here is going to be a bit of a loss. In Silesia, we got... Oh, there's a bit of a big combat in Silesia. They've got massive numbers advantage. Both sides are exhausted, though. We'll still probably lose this combat, mind you, but the enemy's going to be taking huge casualties. And then we are, at least in Brandenburg, we're winning that combat. Got another battle in Lothringen. And in Northern Rhine, we got another combat. So we're still holding. Ooh, there we go. The British war support is now -8, so they still need to lose about 25. Which I suppose right now is about 8 weeks. So yeah, late April is probably pretty accurate for when they will step out of the war. Yeah, the enemy's taking a huge demoralization casualties in here. In Silesia, so we might actually still win this. Although it's going to be a pretty close one in the end. They've still got a 6-to-1 ratio of troops there. But the mod is definitely helping us. Their offense and defense is reduced drastically. We got the surprise maneuver, so we deal a lot more morale damage. Oh, so that might be the reason. So it's about, well, still about 6-to-1. Oh, panic retreat. Oh, brilliant. Alright, well, that means that we'll be winning that combat then. Controlling all of that. Oh, 2 Sicilies is improving relations. Well, that's very kind of them. On the Western Front, we're still defending. How's the manpower situation there? They've got advantage of about 27,000, but we have gotten up to 140,000 men there. On the Eastern Front, we have actually managed to even out the situation. And looks like the battle in... Oh. Right, that's another battle in Brandenburg, which the enemy had huge troops. Although we had more manpower in there, and our troops are much better. So that's definitely helping. Population growth has stalled pretty much right now. Ooh, Nationalist Opera. We're going to afford taking a small hit on the authority right now, I think. Not entirely sure what that war is. Oh, what are uprising in German Niger? Oh. Wait, what? Well, I suppose, yeah, that war probably ended immediately. Because it can't really take place. Yeah, in the West Front, we're still holding. East Front, we're also still holding. I suspect that Britain is going to be stepping out of the war in a few weeks. They're losing 3 per week. Okay, so about 5 weeks. Which I suppose is according to the calculations then. Now it's 4 weeks. Yeah, end of April, they should be surrendering. And that's going to remove quite a bit of troops. So right now, if we have a look at the manpower and all that, the enemy has 1,500 battalions, of which Britain and its subjects do make quite a bit. At least about 300. So that'll leave them still with 1,200 battalions most likely. The flotillas is going to be reduced to by about 300 as well. So there's going to be 200 remaining. We got a bit of a lack of flotillas ourselves, perhaps. We have been taking quite heavy casualties, but I think we're still overall doing pretty good. And yeah, we're still winning the battles. That's the battle in... Alright, so that battle is about to end. Yeah, there we go. That is pretty huge, actually. 13,000 dead and 27,000 wounded. And 118,000 demoralized. And that's mostly British side. Actually, I do wonder. Attacker casualties. How much is the English? Okay, so there's a bit of that. The Scots. Okay, so it's actually not that much. Just English casualties there. But regardless, they took a huge amount of losses on their side. Oh, there's another massive battle in there. This time we've got a lot more troops there. Ooh, we'll discover Corrientes. Right, that's in Argentina. Okay. I knew that sounded familiar. I think we had oil there in our Argentina playthrough as well. It looks like the naval control of North Sea, well, it's still contested, mind you, but we are actually winning that. Slowly but surely. And just a few more weeks, and Prussia will be out of the war. Ooh, we might still lose the battle in Brandenburg. At least that particular one. Because we've got a lot of our troops stuck in Silesia. Well, not stuck, but taking part in the battle in Silesia. So they got... Oh, right, Britain colonizing Lindy. Alright then. No surprises there. That's in Africa. We are going to lose a little bit of battle over here in Northern Rhine as well. So the situation, we're going to be losing 2 battles most likely. Unless... Yeah, no, this is probably going to be a loss. The enemy's still got so much troops and they are not taking as much casualties as one might hope. Not getting that lucky with the rolls. At least Silesia is going to hold. And that is a lot of casualties for the enemy as well there. Let's have a look. Britain is now... -2. Okay, so just one more week and they will peace out. So late April indeed. And then we're going to slowly start retaking the areas and start pushing the enemies back further. I mean, after that, there's not going to be a lot of enemies that are going to be pulling out of the war anytime soon. It's mostly just the colonies of the... Oh, there we go. Britain has fallen out of the war. Which means that there's a lot less enemies or enemy fleets over here. Which means we're going to go... Actually, I'm going to send this one back to the headquarters. Let it rest for a while. We'll keep this fleet active, and then we can send that to do a bit of raiding potentially over here. Or something. At least the convoy raiding should be reduced. Oh, we had a general that died. Where was that? I suppose that doesn't really tell us much. Gonna go through here. Oh, the 12th German army. Right, let's get a new general for you. Stalwart Defender. How about that? Although the last stand, I don't know if that's going to be a good idea, but the 10% defense is pretty handy. Yeah, and getting a brave leader wouldn't really hurt, but yeah, we'll go with Wrangle. Just defend the front. Oh, right, it's the army over here, so it's actually not in the war yet. Interestingly enough. There we are. So now the enemy's got a lot less troops, actually, on the western front. Perhaps it's time for us to switch our offensive. Is there... No, I don't think I can actually do it through there, but let's see. I guess we're just going to go ahead and send in the main army again. Advance front. And Hindenburg is going to start advancing front. So those 2 armies should be sufficient to then start making quite a difference. We've got 40,000 men advantage on this front line right now. And our sort of average offense is actually pretty good. Compared to their average defense. Actually, I'm not entirely sure if that's... Oh, right, it's their average offense and defense and our average offense and defense. So we've got advantage, but it's mostly on the defense side. Okay, a massive battle in here, that's probably going to be a lot... Well, actually... Depends, if the dug-in is removed... We might still win this. Barely. It's going to be a big battle. But yeah, we need to start making a bit of headway in here. So how's the... There's not really... Other than Piedmont... Oh no, they are... Okay, so they can't be peace out either. Well, the French are the only one that would not want a peace yet, or white peace at this point, but I think we can still turn this around. Of course, the losses over here on the enemy side, let's wait for... There we go. And they've taken still, even without the British losses, they've taken 4.5 million. I don't actually know how much they had there, but total losses are probably about 6 million by now, I reckon. But we may need to take the truce a bit sooner. Or eventually, I don't think we can initially... I mean, we might be able to force them into a peace. How's the Eastern Front? Well, we've got a bit of advantage and troops there. Not enough, mind you. On the Western Front, the battle is probably going to be quite bloody. Again, if they got a plunder or something like that, and we got some good... well, we got still fairly high kill rate, I suppose. But yeah, we might lose that battle, but at least the enemy is still taking heavy casualties. It's tying down a lot of their troops. What do we have here? Okay, there's too many bloody notifications again. Potency of anger. We're going to take the risk. Okay, so at least this secession is going downwards. The activism is 90% though, so it's pretty high. That's the fleet over there. That's still going to wait a while. The enemy's still trying to do convoy raiding. We are still trying to intercept, but it might take a while before we really get through that. But there we go. So the battle... Oh, they got a plunder over here. Well, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. We got a surprise maneuver. Some morale damage and plunders, morale loss. Oh, we might get a lot of demoralized in here now. I don't think that's going to be quite enough, though, to get a victory over here. But I say overall, we're still doing okay. And there's probably going to be another counterattack from the French soon enough. But at this point, I might actually be just fine with a white peace. So that economy can start recovering, because, well, the convoy situation is actually getting slightly better. Oh, international exchange standard unlocked. Well, there we go. That wasn't something that we even researched. Well, we were going to research at some point, of course, but we didn't get around to do that yet. So there's, on the level 4, there's still the film, political agitation, and zeppelins in the society. In military, we've still got quite a bit of things, especially like naval stuff. Well, actually, just 2 naval things over here, which neither one of those is spreading right now. I might want to get the Sea Lane strategies. And then maybe the Dreadnoughts. Just so that we can then start unlocking some other stuff. But yeah, we'll just queue that up in there. We don't actually need it too badly right now. To be fair, they started with... Well, actually, it wasn't that massive advantage in terms of numbers. So we have taken a lot of casualties in this battle. But if we want to gain something in this war, which I don't think we will... I mean, if we fight for long enough, then we might. But it's going to be tricky at best. And nigh impossible at worst. Although... Oh god, but naval combat over here, which we are winning. I could potentially try to do a landing behind the French front here. Because we have now opened up the route for naval landings. You know what, let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and stop these attacks. They do have a bit of... Oh, right, that's a fleet over there. Okay, so who could we send for that? In the Eastern Front, we still got... well, still got a decent bit of troops there. This army is pretty beaten up. Main army, how about you? I don't suppose you're probably busy in combat. Yeah, so I can't really send you out. What about the LB army? I don't think I can actually send you out either. Yeah, you got all the 3 battles as well. Okay, so offense is failing in there. But what we can do is we can wait for the battles to end and we'll try to send in a landing into Normandy. And then go for France. If we can get France out of the war. Ooh, German-British Fellowship. Okay. Alright, they're still considering me as a rival. Another option for landings, of course. Well, I think France is probably going to be the easier one. If we can get into Normandy, I think we can probably do that. Although, admittedly, the battles are still ongoing. There we go. The defenses are at least going fairly well. The attack, on the other hand, is not. Oh, right. We can plan an invasion on Normandy with the Royal Fleet. It will have a bit of an impact, but we're going to have to take that risk. We'll have a bit less troops now on the Western Front, which is why we switched to defense only. But yeah, if we can get invasion done there, because they got no troops defending right now. Our fleet is going to be there shortly. And then if we can just... actually, I'm going to make sure that that is a strategic objective. Hurrahs, that is. So we can then, once we do land in here... Landings in Normandy seems like a apt location. We can get France out of the war, then we can get Belgium out of the war, then we can fight off Austrians, and then probably do landings in Occitania or something. Okay, now they've got some troops sitting in here. But how soon will they actually arrive? There's only 13 battalions, though, and it might not be all that high number, although, actually. Does it have more troops sitting in there? Well, it doesn't really list. Is Piedmontian army, okay. I got 13, okay, so it's a full strength at least. Oh, we are actually getting an attack going through here. Oh, wow. I am surprised by that. They might actually get into Belgium. Okay, yeah, now the enemy is getting a bit more troops to oppose the landings. I suppose that will then open up the potential for more landings, or more attacks through the proper Western Front here. Ooh, all discovered in Friesland. How much do they have in there? Oh wow, they've got a lot of buildings there. Up to 30, I mean, that's pretty good. Oh, Britain declared Occitania as a rival. Alright then. Oh, they've got their fleet intercepting over here as well. We do, of course, have some naval battles in here. I suspect at this point I'm going to go ahead and send this. You know what? I'm going to start raiding convoys in the English Channel. I have a bit more fleets there. To stop the enemies from doing too much intercepting. Our defense seems to be working, and our attack into Liège might actually work. So Wallonia will be partially occupied. There's a massive combat in, of course, Lothringen. How's the Eastern Front? Oh, they've got 200,000 men there now. We've still got a slight disadvantage in terms of numbers, but it's not too bad at this point. Oh, now they've got 101 fleets or flotillas in there. Alright then, so it's a decent bit. I don't know if this landing will then happen. Because the landing is technically being contested, I suppose. But if nothing else, we might be able to sink a few enemy convoys in here. Oh, right, so that's not showing our convoy rating there yet. It's just showing the impacts on our network. Ah, fair enough. It looks like the lack of convoys is getting slightly better. Was it 7,000 or minus 7,000 at one point? But I think we are recovering at least slowly. And there's a nice little battle in, well, I say little battle, it's a massive battle in Brandenburg. So Liège is going to be a very quick battle. They had less than 1,000 men attacking us there. Alright then, so I'm guessing Belgium might not be in its, yeah, no, they're not doing too strong. So France would actually take, or almost take a white piece. But at this point, I'm going to try if I can manage to perhaps force a landing in here. Or at least nothing, if not a landing, then at least draw in a lot of the enemy troops away from other fronts right now. That might be an ideal situation. Mission to Africa. True Christian missionaries want to bring the salvation of the gospel to a colony in Equator. Or Equator. You know what, sure. We'll convert them to Christians, I suppose then. Right, yeah, we are still losing a lot of money, although we still got about 50 million, so we're not bankrupting anytime soon. Ooh, we might actually win this naval combat here. Alright then. Oh, and of course there's some potential front lines opening up in Africa. Are you part of any front line right now? Station in Congo. Let's get up there and start pushing back the colonies over here. I believe this is probably Mungbetu that we're fighting in here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. They've only got 2 battalions, so we should be able to push them back and then get the colonies growing in there again. Then we're going to go against Dinka and get that colony growing. And then we're going to start clearing out the rest of the Africa, which I suppose is... Oh, there we go. That's quite a big battle. It should be still easily winning that, mind you. Got some naval combats in here. Did we actually manage to sink any convoys yet? I don't know. I suspect that... oh yeah, we did. 143. Oh, there we go. We did lose 1 convoy ourselves. There's not all that many going through anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. As long as we can inflict a whole lot of casualties on the enemy, that's all good to me. Oh, speaking of which, the enemy numbers in the Eastern Front have dropped drastically. So much so, that perhaps I should have a look at the Osselman over here. You can start advancing the front. I believe we might have another one that could perhaps then do some work for that. Ludendorff. So those two can start advancing the front, and maybe we can start taking Saxony back, or start pushing into Austria, get Austria out of the war with the nations being released and all that. I think that could be quite handy. And after that, it's going to be really easy to just defeat the... Well, I say easy. It's going to be much more manageable than a fight in France. Although it's most likely we'll be getting some ground in France before... Oh, we've got 12% in Wallonia already. I suppose their capital is over there, right? We need to get Flanders then. If we want to push for the peace with them. It's probably not going to happen right now. But yeah, the enemy numbers in the Eastern Front, we've got a massive advantage right now. Oh yeah, we might actually win this combat. We've got a plunder going on, which is not necessarily very good, but they've got poor visibility, so that's not too bad either. The enemy is taking more casualties, a lot more wounded and demoralized, and a bit more debt as well. So we might actually start pushing into Austria finally. We're still holding on the Western Front. Our navies are still... Looks like we're actually defeating the enemy fleets in here, which is quite handy. There's a deal proposed. You know what? Right now, I'm going to reject that. I know that our colonies are probably going to hate us for that, but at the same time, we can start pushing back the enemy in the Africa front, which seems going quite nicely in our favor. We can then clear out these two wars that we've got going on. We can then start clearing out the colonial wars over here, slowly but surely. Colonies will actually get some liberation from the will get liberated from their occupation. Suppose we've got the 8 battalions in here. How good is this one? Stalwart Defender. Okay, we're gonna mobilize you. Except, is this? Yeah, it is trench. Oh, right, it's the conscripts only. Okay. We'll get those conscripts, and we'll go ahead and send you to... I'll send you to the Eastern Front. Just to have a bit more troops to defend in case there's attacks against us. But the enemy numbers are now... Well, they've still got 150,000, so it's not like they're running out of troops. But it might take them a while to get a proper attack going on again. And there's another battle in Lothringen, which seems to be going in our favor, and also in Aachen. We've yet to do any landings, have we? No, there's still the enemy fleet in here. And we're not really doing that much to defeat the enemy fleets, although, well, I guess we're still dealing a lot of damage on them. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.